Hey friend, welcome to my very messy garage, but it's messy for a reason. I have a huge, ginormous haul of stuff to show you that I got from a storage unit. I'm going to show you a few things that I bought to resell. I didn't buy them. It was all free. I'm going to show you a few things and then I'll tell you the story. First off is this IU, Indiana University visor. I didn't comp everything, but visors have sold really well for me recently, and so I'm hoping that will be good. This is really cool. It's like a black on black LA, I don't know. It says that. Is this Dodgers? It's Major League Baseball. Are Dodgers baseball? Anyway, I think the black on black is really cool. I actually just bought a black on black hat, Buffalo Bills hat for my husband from a fellow reseller and YouTuber. And I love it. It's so beautiful. And then this one is the Flash? I'm not sure. I like selling hats. They're pretty easy. I also like selling bras. They're also easy. This one is Cacique is the brand, and it sells pretty well. Oh boy, camera doesn't like white. There it is. Cacique is Lane Bryant's intimate line, or like their bras and stuff. So this does have like an extender attached. Probably ought to unattach this. And then I have a purse. This thing has no brand on it. It definitely feels like scratchy like wool, but I thought it was very fun. I'm not great at keyword selling things, so if you have some keywords for this, let me know. It's really, I would say boho and 70s. I don't know, the strap is pretty twisted. I just think it's very, very cool. And then this is probably the favorite thing we found, my favorite thing that we found, and it is the Sibley Guide to Bird Life and Behavior, and I'm keeping it. But this does have a really good sell-through rate. It's over 50%, but it only sells for like $6. But I wanted it for a really long time. I have a really hard time buying stuff for myself, so as soon as I saw this, you should ask my sister. I went a little nuts. She was like, "It's a book, Jen, chill out." One more thing before I tell my little story here. This is a scrub top. It is Hello Kitty. I like selling scrub tops similar to like the hats and the bras and stuff. They're easy to list, they're easy to ship, and they don't take up space to store. I mean, like that much. All right, so story time. My sister has access to a storage unit, and this time she gets them occasionally. I'm not entirely sure of the whole thing, but there's stuff underneath me here. She texted me, and she likes to they sell things in like an auction, but they do like the hard goods and things like that, along with my mom and my stepdad. So she texted me and was like, "I just got 3 storage units and they're full of clothes." And I was like, "Well, that's cool." She sent me a picture and she said there were 26 garbage bags that she had just found, and there may possibly be more. So I said, "Hey, I have a free evening. Why don't I come up and help you?" And so she actually brought all the stuff to her garage, and we spent, oh goodness, probably 4 or 5 hours going through all these bags. And there were 2 racks. The racks of clothes were in the picture that she sent me, and I was like, I hope there's some vintage stuff in that. And oh goodness, is there vintage stuff. There's some really, really amazing items in this. I'm going to tell you. So when we were done, I had a huge pile of stuff that I was taking to resell. I resell stuff on eBay, if you don't know, and mostly clothes, shoes, purses, hats, bras, stuff like that. So I had a huge pile in the middle to take home for me. There were so many bags of garbage. All of these bags of items were just some of it was wet. There was stuff that smelled like cat pee. There was mouse poop in all of it. It was really quite sad, the amount of things that we threw away, but then also some of the quality of things that we threw away. It was just really sad. I was like, I hate to put that in the garbage, but it was, there was no hope for it. So at one point I was like, I just have to like remind myself, like I do with the bins, that I can't bring everything home. I can't save everything. And we did certainly save quite a lot of stuff. So, and then we had probably, oh, I don't know, 8 or 9 or 10 bags of things to take to a donation of another thrift store or something. So some things that were still worthwhile, but just not worth my time of listing. As I've been going through all of this, which is, I mean, we're probably 5 days out. At this point, it took me 2 full days just to get everything through the wash. And, all the stuff that's hanging up is like silk and wool, and I'm not washing that. So not even everything went through the wash. So there's 152 items here. I'm not going to show you everything. I'm not going to comp everything, but you might want to get cozy or find something to do. There's some really amazing stuff, and there's 2 things that are worth a lot of money, but I'm going to wait until the end to show you, just because I'm good like that. I like the mounting excitement. Like, it's coming. There's some fantastic things along the way. I am going to show you, or not show you, just tell you. I have 154 items. So assuming a 10% defect rate, meaning I'm going to find stains, I'm going to find holes. Some of the stuff stinks because it's been just in a storage unit for years and years. So assuming a 10% defect rate, that gives me 138 items. I list 7 items a day, 6 days a week. So that is over 3 weeks worth of listing items. I texted this to my mom, and she said, you're not going to have to thrift again in a really long time, are you? And that's why I said 3 weeks worth. That's great. So assuming an average net profit of $12 an item, which is my overall net profit for the past like 3 months, it's potentially $1,656 in profit. I think it's going to be more, because you're going to see some of these items are going to sell for way more than $15 or $20. A lot of this stuff is going to sell for $15 or $20. 25, 30 maybe. But there's some items here that I'm going to list for 75, 100. The last item I'm going to show you, I think I'm going to list it around $250. So there's some good stuff. I'm really excited. It'll be fun to see in like 3 or 4 months when I finally, it's going to take a while to get this stuff listed, but to see what does sell and how much it sells for. So I have a couple shirts here. I still need to run comps on this. Like, this is just a t-shirt that I was curious about. It's royalty culture. I don't really know what that is. So anyway, this I thought was very Y2K style. Just reminds me of college, but it is Brooklyn State, and it's a 4X. So again, I don't know anything about that brand. This recently I have had anything that has a skull on it has sold really fast for me, and this has a skull right there. So this is GWP Sport, and it has that like PlayStation. No, that's not a PlayStation. That is, I don't know. What kind of game controller is that? I don't know. It's very cool though. And then, let's see. So these are just like my little t-shirt stash. This is the Pink Panther. Kind of a gangsta Pink Panther. I'm not really sure about that. And then these I'm probably going to lot up. I haven't double checked on the sizes, but there were 3 like wolf t-shirts. I think they're all the same size. I feel like, I don't know anything about wolf t-shirts. These are, I think they're vintage, but they're not single stitch. So, and this one, again, has a skull on it. So, like I said, anything with a skull lately has just been really selling quickly. I don't know what it is about skulls, and then there were 2 Marilyn Monroe shirts, and again, I think they're the same size, and so I'm just gonna lot them up. This one actually doesn't have a size on it. These I don't think are vintage, but they are pretty well worn, but I thought that one was pretty cool. Again, you know, if I lot these 2 t-shirts up and sell them for 15 bucks, this was all free for me. Free. I didn't pay a cent other than the time. And honestly, my sister put in more work than I did because she has to deal with, you know, she brought everything to her house and she's dealing with the whole storage unit on her own anyway, well, with her husband and my parents. But these are 2 other just kind of random items that were in here. This needs some help. I need to figure out how to get it, you know, kind of straight again. But this is very cool, and I think it's old. It is made in the USA. It's 7 5/8 is the size. It is a wool blend, and it's Eddie's hat, designed by Chris Eddy, it says in there. But it has like this belt. Actually, the belt was off of it, and I pulled the hat off and out of a bag, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I pulled this out and I was like, who wears a belt this small? My sister very, very gently, kindly said, I think it goes on the hat, Jen. I was like, she's a smart one. So there were a couple items of jewelry that were in boxes. I had a really bad experience selling jewelry once, and so it kind of scares me. However, I like that it's really tiny. So, and I keep watching this one YouTuber that sells jewelry, and I think maybe I'll, you know, get something just to like play with it a little bit, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll like it. We'll see. But my sister was looking through this, and she was like, oh, this is, and I forget who she said it was, Betsy Johnson, is that right? So I think this is a Betsy Johnson. It is, there's like a Macy's. Oh, it is. Okay, look at that. She's so smart. Okay, that is Betsy Johnson tag. And then this is just I assume that's a necklace. I don't know. It's very fancy. So anyway, we'll see. Like I said, I had a very not good experience with selling jewelry. So I'm hoping with it being new with tags, that will make it a little better of an experience for me, but we'll see. This is a shirt. It's a t-shirt. I was real excited about it because I think it looks cool, and it has like an all over print, and this is like gold, and it's 23 is Michael Jordan. Shoot, did I say it? So anyway, this is, I'm just going to show you the tag. Anyway, when I looked it all up, it's not really worth that much, and the sell-through rate's terrible, which is kind of sad because I think it's very cool. I also have heard that like these types of shirts, again, like this was super popular when I was like a senior in high school. So very Y2K. I don't know. This I had heard was like, oh yeah, these sell great. It didn't have a great sell-through rate, and the average sale price was like $25. So, I mean, I'm still gonna sell it, or I'm gonna try to sell it anyway. I have 4 of these like vintage pageant little girl toddler dresses. So this one is very frilly and fancy. They are all pretty faded and worn, and I mean, this one is like, it's terrible. The material is like, it's so terrible. They all have a little bit of staining on them. This one is not like a pageant one, but like a little Christmas. Wouldn't that be perfect for a little Christmas dress for a little toddler girl? I think it's really cute. Let's see. This is Martha's Miniatures. We're Fussy. That's what it says on the tag. And then this one has a pretty significant stain on the collar, but I think it is quite beautiful with the pinafore kind of look to it. So anyway, some of these sold in the like $100 range, but the sell-through rate wasn't great. Like something like this, and maybe this pink one. But, you know, maybe I won't sell them for $100, but maybe I'll sell them for $30. Again, they're gonna need some work and some stain treatment. There was a mannequin in the storage unit, so I guess, you know, it's a torso something. It's actually Nike branded. There's a stand for it. And I don't know. I think she's going to need a name. She's pretty ripped. I mean, Nike branded, I would imagine. But look at those abs. It's pretty great. She's going to need a name. I don't know how much or if I'll use her, but we'll see. My pictures are something that I'm working on getting better. I'm just not great at taking pictures. And I know that that impacts my sales. There were a ton of men's dress shirts, and my husband took quite a few, but some men's dress shirts will sell for a good amount of money. I just listed one brand called Turnbull and Asser for $70. I listed it. I don't know if I'm going to sell it for that, but that's what I listed it for. Anyway, this is just, what is that brand? Igara? I don't know. It's just like a department store brand, but like I have 2 or 3 of these. And so I will probably lot them together to, you know, sell them for $25 or something. This is Nick Graham, which I thought was Robert Graham, but it is vastly different. The sell-through rate is terrible, and the average sale price was like $10. But I have, I don't know, like 7 of these in the same size. So if I lot them up all together, then I don't know. I just find that that has worked for me in the past. So here's another Nick Graham. They do have kind of fun prints on them. And this one is a navy blue. I'm doing a terrible job of showing you, but they're just kind of fun, like a micro print. One thing that I do, I'm either going to have to work on or just notate, is that there's some staining on the inside of the collars. And let's see. Yeah, see, I don't know how many that was. This one, if you can see that. It's kind of like a fun little micro print. Does that make sense? This is Land's End. I often buy Land's End, but I don't often sell it. But just, you know, if I'm getting things for free, I'm happy to list that for $10 or $15. This one is Eddie Bauer, similar to that Land's End. That is like a bright yellow. It is going to take someone very special who wants to wear a bright yellow button-up shirt. This is another Land's End. This is just a button-up short sleeve shirt. And hopefully I have 2 of them. I don't. This one is Ralph Lauren, which does sell for me pretty well. This one is just a stripe, long sleeve button-up. And, oh, this is another Ralph Lauren. I might lot those up just depending on when, like this one had a style name in it, so just depending on what the sell-through rate is, I may lot them up together if they're the same size, which I think they are. Like all those dress shirts were the same size. And then there were 2 of these, but my husband wanted one. So this one is Tasso Elba. And I have something else of this brand in like a merino wool, and it hasn't sold yet. But this is linen, and so it's the wrong season, but I sell a lot of linen, and so I think that that will sell. These are vintage stretchy velvet pants. Woo. And this, my sister actually found in a different section of the storage unit. Unfortunately, it has a little tear right there, but these are Speedo boxers, not boxers, swim trunks. They're quite bright orange, but you know, Speedo sells pretty well. And this does have I thought it was pretty cool. It has like a waterproof pocket, so this like tucks into the back pocket and is like a little waterproof thing to put your keys in or whatever. Then I do have some jeans. There were a lot of jeans, but most of them were not worth bringing back. Let's see. These I thought were vintage, but maybe they're not. They are. It's where a 1993 light wash 505 Levi's. These are little sweat shorts. They are a kid size. They are medium, but the brand is Junk Food. And that's something I've heard about, and it also has Mickey Mouse on there. So this is something I've heard about, but didn't know, I just don't have any experience with, is Junk Food. So I thought I would comp this with you. You hear me talk about comps a lot. Comps are really, really important. Really important. Because if I'm listing something and there's 100 of them listed and only one sold, the reality is mine is not likely to sell unless mine is like super rare or unique or really, really cheap. If they're all priced at $100 and I price mine at $10, then maybe it'll sell. I don't know. So Junk Food, shorts, Mickey Mouse. That's what I am going to search in eBay on my eBay app. And let's see. There's like no shorts that come up. Let's see, condition, used, and category. I'm pretty sure these are kids. It says size medium. I'm gonna put it in kids and just see. All right, there's 11 things that come up to sell, and they are all shirts, not shorts. Let's see if we have any sold items. 4 sold items in that brand, and again, all shirts. So I don't know. The sold of the shirts are, there's a best offer off of $8. That's a tank top, $16.99. A best offer off to $19.50 and $17. So I might, maybe I'll list these for $20 and see what happens, just because there are no kids shorts. I also might look in the adults shorts and see if there's anything similar and see if I can find something. But I just have learned a lot over the last year that comps are really important, because you can list things, but just because you list them doesn't mean they're going to sell. These are scrubs, and they're scrub pants, and they're Grey's Anatomy. I have sold some Grey's Anatomy scrubs. If you've watched any of my videos, well, maybe not any of them, but most of my videos, I enjoy selling scrubs. These are hydraulic jean shorts, and I pulled these out of a bag, and my sister was like, I've never even heard of that brand, and I was like, I just sold a pair of these for like $15, so I'll take them. So these are OTB. I don't know what that brand is. I haven't looked it up, but they just are very like a baggy, loose men's jean, and so it's kind of in style right now, I hear. We'll see. These are Reebok, like swishy track pants. I've sold so many swishy track pants recently. I don't even know. These are camo pants. There was a lot of camo. I mean, a lot. There's a lot of camo in this. But these are a larger size. The brand is Whitewater Outdoors, and I'm pretty sure that they're vintage, but they're just a larger size. We live in the Midwest. Hunting is real. It's a real thing around here. And then these are like snow pants, but they are camo. So they're fleece lined, they're insulated. I'm trying to see the brand here. Bear Creek is the brand. So I don't think that these brands are very desirable. Actually, these might be reversible, because there's pockets on the inside. I think this is reversible, but why would you want this against your skin? I don't know. It's not for me to judge. Anyway, there's zipper on the ankle to allow for boots. So they're just pretty cool. I can't imagine they'll sell for a lot of money, but maybe $25 or so. I reached into one bag and thought I found a quilt. I was so excited. It is not a quilt. It is a duvet cover. And I have not yet I've washed it, but I've not like completely opened it up to see how bad it is. If it's holed or stained or anything. But I've also never sold a duvet cover, so I don't know. But quilts sell well. This is a Yale hip pack, like fanny pack. I looked at my sister. My sister is young and cool, and I am not. And I was like, is this cool? And she was like, oh yeah, that's very cool. So this is a Chicago Bears like beanie hat. I think it's cool. It might sell for like $10, but again, all this was free for me. So, oh, I gotta get this guy. Oh, I bet I'm past the time. Shoot. Today is October 23rd, and this is a Halloween costume for a dog. It's a lobster. Isn't that fantastic? I mean, he's not gonna take up much space to store him, but darn it, I should have listed him right away. So I have these. These are scarves, and I'm saying these because I have more than one of them. So the brand is Mon Repose. That's probably not how you say that, but there we go. It is baby alpaca, and they are scarves, and they're new, all three of them. So I have that one, that's gray. This one is green, and it looks like it has like a little tassel on it. Oh, the gray one has this crochet detail on the edge. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And then this is like a stripe with gray and like an off-white. Oh, let's just pull this out because that's a terrible noise, sorry. And then this one has a crochet detail as well with that fringe. I just think they're beautiful. I believe an average sale price for these was about $30, and the sell-through rate was like 25%, which isn't ideal. However, these are not going to take much to store, and I got them for free. This is a vintage Victoria's Secret, not Victoria's Secret, no, Vera Bradley, sorry, Vera Bradley garment bag. So I did not look up comps for that, but it's pretty darn cool. I don't love Vera Bradley, and a lady from church gave me a ton of Vera Bradley, but it was most of it was like newer styles and new with tags, and a lot of it, I think I only have one left, maybe not even that. And I have sold some others that I bought for just like $1, but and they don't sell for a lot of money. The new with tag ones did pretty well, but I don't know how much that'll sell for. It's not something that I search out. I don't search out Vera Bradley, but it does sell sometimes. This is the arm for the mannequin. There was only one arm, unfortunately, and this arm, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Because what do you just do with a mannequin arm? And I don't want one mannequin arm. I'd prefer her to be armless. That's a weird topic. Okay, so I do have some shoes. These are shoes that my sister actually pulled out for herself, and then they didn't fit her the way she wanted them to. So these are vintage Reebok, like just very basic. I actually think that these will do pretty well, but I haven't looked up comps. All of these have their boxes, and like this one has not been worn. There's no way. But it's just Rampage. What's Rampage? Like Walmart? I don't know. I'm hoping, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hoping they're like the same size, and I can say, hey, 2 pairs of shoes. Because this one is another Rampage. That's upside down. There you go. But that's like a, what's that, zebra print? This one does have a little bit of wear on it. Why do I not see? Let's see. This one is 8.5. And this one is 8. Darn it. I was hoping they'd be the same size and I could lot them up. But I just sold a pair of 9 West shoes for like $15. So these are Guess, and I'm pretty sure that's like Y2K to me. Those are pretty amazing. This is a brand called Sam and Libby. Again, I have not comped any of this, so I don't know. But these do have a brand new price tag of $14.99 on there. So you know that's quality. These could be something. These are Ralph Lauren. Do we say Ralph Lauren? It says Super Prime Custom Craft. Can you see that on there? Probably not. There we go. I don't know. They could be something, but again, I haven't looked anything up yet. I've looked up some things, but some of it I just haven't. All right, now we're gonna try and work our way through that rack of stuff. And when I say rack, it is on the track of my garage door. Because where else are you gonna put them? I don't know. This is vintage, made in Hong Kong, and it's just a cotton blouse. I think it is pretty stained, actually, so I am gonna need to try and work on that a bit. See if I can get some stains out of it. This is also vintage. This is linen, and I hope my camera doesn't wash it out because it is really cool. Has almost, not really a bell sleeve, it's kind of a jacket, kind of a blouse, but man, there's just some discoloration in there, and some like full-on stains. And then it does have a dry cleaning tag on there that says, "We're sorry, we couldn't get the stains out," which is really a bummer. Let's see, what is this brand? The J. Peterman Company. Isn't that something from Seinfeld? I don't know. Okay. So I can soak that and just see if we can get some stains out. I do soak silk, and I also soak linen. Let's see. Joseph Ribkoff. Oh, I forgot to go through the rest of that. I need to do that too. Joseph Ribkoff. Okay, this is vintage, made in Canada, and these are like a slinky pant. Very, like, definitely would have worn this in college. It's a very kind of a Y2K style. I don't think it's actually from Y2K, but I don't know. Yeah, but they're made in Canada, so. Then I have this vintage Talbot's jean vest. Very cool. Also gonna use a soak. I was thinking I could donate it, but are they just gonna throw it out? I'm gonna try and see what happens. So this is a vintage blazer, and it is made in the US. And I'm trying to see, let's see, it just says After 6 as the brand. And I don't think this was fancy material, although it does say formal attire in here. It is a 54R. Is this a men's? This might be men's. I thought it was like a woman's blazer, but I think it's a men's blazer. It is like, I don't know. It didn't have a tag that told me the material, but it doesn't feel nice. Okay. And then this is a vintage Talbot's blazer, and it is a like yellow, not really a mustard yellow, more like a buttercup yellow. It does have some discoloration right here. I do think it is cotton and or polyester. It is. Oh, it does have a linen blend. It is a linen blend, the outside, but I'll soak that, see if I can get some of that out. Let me show you this one. Is this fantastic or what? I'm pretty sure this is real fur, and this is real leather. It does have like a, it's not really vented. I don't know what do you call this? It's like that, but it is long. A really long line coat, and let's see, the brand is M. Leonard Furs from South Bend, Indiana. So this thing is vintage. Let's see if I can see the tag here for you. It is, I don't know, that has shipping instructions. That's weird. It's a size medium. It's made in the US. But it is definitely leather and fur. I mean, how cool. Unfortunately, there is a lot of staining on it. So I'm gonna try my best to figure out how to clean leather. If you know how to clean leather, have some ideas. My mom and I have been Googling and Pinteresting and all the things, but if you have a tried and true way, please let me know in the comments, because I really want to save this because it's really fantastic. This is a vintage Jones, New York long line like pea coat, and it is wool and quite pretty. This one is, let's see, do we have a brand on this? It just says, I don't know, I'm just going to show you, hopefully. Oh no, the camera doesn't like it. There it is. Colección de Franco and Richmond, Franco's Richmond, Virginia. So this is also, oh, bummer, it has a little rip in the lining. Some of this stuff was completely trashed, so I'm not surprised when I find holes and whatnot, but this is, in my opinion, pretty obviously fur, or not fur, wool. And again, long line, pea coat, absolutely beautiful, vintage. You know what? This is also made in Canada, and it is like a long line coat, but it's like a polyester. I almost wonder if it goes with those pants. It doesn't. There's like, it's a very obviously different material, but very cool. Very vintage. It's got to be polyester. It is polyester. This is vintage J. Jill, and it is like an acetate, which is polyester, like a trench coat. I think it's missing something. Like this side has this little belt thing, so you would think it would have it on the other side, but it's not on the other side, but it also doesn't look like it's been cut or ripped off. So I don't know what that means. And then this is Linda Richards. It is made in the US. It is, oh man. This is another like vintage black trench coat. Oh, it is ripped right there. Bummer. Well, like I said, I'm pretty confident I'm gonna have at least a 10%, what did I call that earlier? Where things aren't, I'm not gonna be able to sell them. This is amazing. This is vintage Milgram, and it is a leopard print. Lawrence of London, weather-resistant fabric by Compton, made in the USA, and it has a union tag on there. And if something is union made, that ups the like vintage value. I don't exactly know why, but it does. And it makes it pretty darn cool. I have not comped this, but I'm kind of excited to comp it. One thing my sister noted is that these have like it looks like there's like a line here, so it looks like all of the hems were let out, so that I don't know what that's going to do as far as reselling it, but I just think that is amazing. I think it's really cool. This one is Cox and Hawkins, tailored exclusively for bricks. The mark of the world's best. This is 100% wool. It does say tailored in the US, and it is a really long line red pea coat. And again, it does have some marks on there, unfortunately, so I'm gonna have to figure all of that out. And then this one is gold. It is beautiful. It is Jones, New York, and it is vintage. All of these are vintage, like what would I call this? Trench coat, sorry, my brain left me there a second. I am not seeing a fabric tag in this, but it's, I mean, it's not wool. I don't think it's silk. That would shock me if this was silk. These are vintage leather pants, and I was kind of surprised the sell-through rate wasn't great, and I think it was only like $40 for the average sale price on that. I could be wrong, but these are a plus size, 16, which isn't very plus, but plus enough. And so I think they'll sell. I have sold leather pants fairly quickly in the past, so I don't know, I'm hopeful. There were quite a few vintage blazers. This one is wool and Angora. Red blazer. It has like this toggle button. There's some, I think it's supposed to be that way. It looked like it was kind of messed up, but it's Dana Buckman is how I would say that. Can you, there we go. So, which I think is just a department store brand, but I'm not sure. This unfortunately has some stuff on it right there. This feels like fleece to me, but I do think it's wool. Let's remember. Oh yes, it is. It is baby alpaca, and it is lined with polyester, and it actually has some stuff in the pockets. Always check your pockets. So this is Wheelon? I don't know how you would say that. So I'm definitely going to need to work on that because all this alpaca stuff was pretty good as far as comps, and I don't remember what they are. If I have them, I will share them on the screen for you, but if not, I'm really sorry. It's just a lot of stuff. So this is, I'm pretty sure vintage. It is Anne Klein is the brand, and then it has all these crusts on here. I saw one, there's not many listed, maybe one or two. This is, it's just a polyester blend, but there was one that was sold very similar. It just had a one large crust here instead of 3 smaller ones, but it sold for $75. So I'm gonna go for 75 and see what happens. We have now come to the silk portion, the Dana Buckman silk portion of today's haul. There was so much silk. It was fantastic. My sister was trying to tell me a story as we were going through these racks, and I kept going, oh my goodness, this is amazing. I kept like seeing another silk item, and anyway, these are, I'm pretty sure, all vintage. This is Dana Buckman. This is a silk gold tie front blouse. Beautiful. This is Dana Buckman. I won't show you the tag again. This is a silk, whatever this is, blouse. I am seeing here that it has a stain on the back. This is a Dana Buckman silk purple blazer. And this is a Dana Buckman silk teal blazer. Aqua, I guess. This is Dana Buckman silk pants, dress pants. And I believe this blazer goes with it. That is like a long line silk. And then this is also Dana Buckman, I think. Where'd it go? No, sorry, this is Anne Klein. I lied. Not Dana Buckman. This is an Anne Klein silk shirt. So kind of blue and stripe is, you know, nautical, which is a good keyword, I guess. So there's that. Here we have a cashmere turtleneck. It is quite beautiful. I did find another cashmere turtleneck, but it was quite holy. Not in the good way. That's a terrible joke. Oh, here we go. Dana Buckman silk. I knew there was another one. This one also has quite a bit of sequins in there. It's like a diamond print with the sequins. Very, very fancy. So we'll see how that one does. This is Field Manor. It's a vintage brand, and a silk blouse. Lots of silk, I'm telling you. And let's see, what else do we have here? This one is Side Effects. Ooh. This one is not silk or anything, but it is vintage, and it is like a, I just thought this was perfect for like, somebody's gonna want this to go out for Christmas, right? That's like a perfect Christmas. So just the material in itself has like a sparkle shimmer in it, and then it has all these sequins and beading on the top. It's really cool. And like I said, vintage. Here, this is another Dana Buchman silk blouse. And this one is Josephine somebody or other, Chouse. I don't know. This is not, oh, it is 100% silk. It doesn't feel like it. Okay, there are different kinds of silk, so silk doesn't always have to feel like silk, but this, I don't know, it really just feels like polyester to me. Anyway, actually, this one is quite cool. It's got a long line. So now we have some coats. There are some really good ones. This one is St. John's Bay, which, you know, that's like a whatever brand, but this is a wool blend. Like, I believe the lining is wool. It's herringbone in there. It's very cool, but it is vintage. It also definitely has a smell. This one is the Limited, and I believe this one had a pretty good comp, but I don't recall off the top of my head. This is just a vintage coat, and this beauty is a cape. It is baby alpaca, and it's purple. It is in excellent condition. It is phenomenal. There are none sold. There is one listed, and it is listed for $400. I mean, this is gorgeous. I'm really not surprised. This is that same brand as the other one, Wheelon. I'm probably not saying that right, but I don't care. It's no, it's U? I don't know. It's beautiful, and my sister's mother-in-law was there, and she tried it on, and it looked really pretty on her, and she was like, oh, I might keep it, and I'm all for that. I'm not like greedy about stuff. She was like, I'm never gonna wear it anywhere, and so she ended up putting it back in my pile. And when I sent my sister that comp, she was like, man, I'm glad my mother-in-law didn't keep it. And I was like, no, she could have kept it. It would have been fine. But it's stunning. Absolutely stunning. This is a leather vest, and it is vintage. And then I have a couple leather coats. This one is Liz Claiborne, and I'm pretty sure that this one is vintage also. This one was like a blazer kind of style, and same with this one. I'm pretty sure my husband had one very similar to this in college. And let's see, this is Tiber. I think I looked this one up, but I don't recall. It's cool. I don't think I said, but those Dana Buchman silk blazers were all, the average sale price was around $40. And then I don't remember the sell-through rate, but then I also have these Calvin Klein blazers. There's two of them. One is in white, one is in navy. Very similar. I don't think these were silk, but I don't recall. No, these are just polyester, but I do think they are vintage. I don't remember right off the top of my head. Made in the Philippines. I think that's vintage. So anyway, I think they're the same size. I'll probably just lot them together and see what happens. If they end up being worth, like $50 or so, I probably won't lot them together. But this is vintage Brooks Brothers, and it is just a button up. I have not checked this completely over for stains, but I would imagine that there's got to be some on there somewhere. This is vintage Talbots, and it's just a black button up. I think it's just polyester. And then this is Ralph Lauren, very, very cool blazer, and it again has that crest on the pocket there. So I have not looked this one up, if I am remembering correctly, but it also has some stains on there, so I'm gonna have to work a little bit at it. And this one is wool, so that's good. Two puffer vests. This one is awesome. It's like very silver. Very, very silver. Unfortunately, the coating has kind of come off, but only on the inside, so I'm hoping that I can still sell it. I do think it is vintage. It is down. It might not be vintage, sorry. But it's AJ Sport. Let's see if I can show you that. And yeah, so it's down-filled. This one, I believe, was also down-filled, and it's Land's End, and it's a 2X. So very nice, you know, just down-filled puffer vest. I already showed you the alpaca scarves that were new, but then there are also more scarves, and some of these are pretty good. They're all either wool or silk, and I think they're all vintage. Why can't I find the tag? There it is. This one is actually cashmere. Cashmere luxury, one size, and it is black, but then also has two separate, no, okay, the cashmere one is just black. Sorry, I thought this was like attached to it, like one side. This one doesn't have a tag that I can tell, but I just really like that, that plaid on there. This is cashmere, so basically not cashmere, but it is quite soft and beautiful. This one has this beautiful like floral leaf print, and this one has got to be vintage. It is made in Italy and it is acrylic, but it's just gorgeous. And I think this one is more of it's a wider scarf. This one is beautiful, just beautiful. This one might be more like a blanket scarf, but this is hand woven and 100% wool. And then this is all embroidered. It's just stunning. Beautiful. This one has like a paisley print on it. Unfortunately, I'm seeing that it is discolored in here, but this is actually a vintage Ralph Lauren, and it is silk, made in Japan. And I did look up the comps for this, and I think it was around $40. I'm doing a terrible job of showing you that, sorry. There we go. So I'm hoping I can get those stains out. We shall see. This is also a Ralph Lauren, and I think this was also a $40 comp, but it has that the flag on there, and this is actually the Polo Jean Company, not just Ralph Lauren, and this is acrylic and wool. It's a wool blend. There are some more. These are just silk. This one is Echo. And like polka dots. This one has, I don't know, that's just so pretty to me. This one is silk. This one is made in Japan, actually. Try not to sell scarves if they don't have tags, just because it's kind of a hard sell. I don't think people wear scarves as much as they used to. This one is silk, also made in Japan, and this one has a very like subtle rose print in there. And then this one is just a very basic like off-white one, and it is Kenneth Cole 100% silk. There we go. Let's see. This one's made in China. This is my sweater and sweatshirt pile. So some of these are amazing, like this one. This is a vintage Ralph Lauren. I believe it's a wool blend turtleneck, and it has that it's Ralph Lauren, and it is actually merino, cashmere, and angora. I believe the sold comp on something very similar to this was like $65, and the sell-through rate wasn't awful. It wasn't great, but it wasn't awful. This is another Ralph Lauren turtleneck, and it just has the little thing right here. There were a few others in here, but I know we pulled them out of bags, but I don't remember if they ended up in here. So I'll have to look through. This is Pronto Uomo, and this is I believe, merino wool sweater. So that's a men's size. Michael Gerald. This is vintage. It's just acrylic, but I've actually had someone order buy a acrylic sweater from me, and she was appreciative because she has a wool allergy. So I thought that was really cool. Like, okay, so I'm not, you know, wasting picking up acrylic sweaters, especially when they're vintage and cool like that. This one is just Champion, but I believe that is vintage. And that's just like a, oh yeah, Notre Dame. That was a Notre Dame fleece. This is, whatever that is. This is a Charlotte Hornets sweatshirt. Probably vintage. Does have a little hole back here, see? Sometimes, if it's worth it, I'll go ahead and list it with a hole or a stain, but I really try to not bring things home that have holes or stains. This is, again, that Pronto Uomo brand. I might lot these together because they might just sell better that way. This is a Los Angeles Raiders vintage sweatshirt. It's pretty faded. Okay, this looks like a North Face Denali jacket. Denali? Doesn't it? I mean, to me, that's what it looks like. So this part is fleece. It has like the elbow thing. And then this part is like a polyester. But there's zero branding on this thing. Like none. So I don't know what that's about. I also, let's see, it's a medium. I don't know. It's kind of weird that there's like no branding on this. So there's also a zipper under the armpit. Is it on both sides? Why would you do that? Why would you have a zipper on your armpit? Okay. Well, that one's stuck. That's kind of weird. I wasn't expecting a zipper under the armpit. That one is also stuck. Okay, you know what? I think I'm just gonna donate that. I don't even want to deal with it. Okay. Oh, yeah. So there were 3 of these just Hanes hoodie zip up. They all have the tags on them. However, I forgot that they had the tags on them and I ran them through the wash, but the stickers stayed on. I don't know. I probably am not going to list them new with tags, but they are Eco Smart, just hoodies. My plan is to lot these up together because I can't imagine that someone's going to want to buy just plain hooded zip up Hanes hoodies. I could be wrong. Okay, this is cool. I have no idea if it's actually cool, but it is a hoodie and it doesn't have the drawstring, but it does have cassette tapes all over it. I thought that was awesome. This feels very 90s to me. This is just a cotton polyester blend. It's JB Buck Casuals menswear, but it is like a velour vest. It's definitely velour. It's cool. All right, this is the North End, and it is a quarter zip. No, it's a full zip jacket, and I believe this is the one that has, yes, it has like, well, I thought those were Olympic rings, but they're not. Okay, I don't know what that is. And then I have a Under Armour US Army hoodie. I just thought that was pretty neat. All right, these, I don't know if I'm going to list or not. This is a suit vest. It is wool, and I think vintage, and it was made in Mexico. I don't think it's branded. I don't know if I'm going to list it. I may do some comps and then decide. all of these suit coats, I don't know. They're not super stylish. This one is a silk and wool blend. It is Pierre somebody or other, but like I just don't feel like that is very in style. This one is Macy's men's store. I do think it's vintage. It is actually Ralph Lauren. I have sold a Ralph Lauren wool blaze, like a suit coat. Sports jacket, that's the word I was looking for. But for like $25. Now, if I can sell these for $25 and they're free, that's fantastic. But for me, like trying to measure them all and make sure they're all okay, I just, I don't know. The sell-through rate's gonna have to need to be good. And this one was custom tailored for Michael Canaway. I don't know who Michael Canaway is, but it might be worth a Google. If he's super famous, maybe someone wants his, you know, sport coat that was custom tailored for him. Maybe not. So we have now come to the Carhartt portion of our video. I sold 3 Carhartt items today. I think. That might be wrong. At least 2. I'm real excited for some more Carhartt. This is, and most of this is vintage Carhartt. So this is a vintage coveralls, and it's pretty trashed, but I don't think there's holes. There's, you know, significant amount of staining on there, but this is pretty cool. This is just a button-up Carhartt. Do you know the Carhartt brand? I hope you do. Anyway, this will probably sell for $15. It's not vintage, but it is still good. Carhartt jeans I don't sell well. So, but again, this was free. These are just Carhartt jeans. But the Carhartt jackets, even the button-up flannels, this I'm really excited about. This is pretty trashed sweatshirt, hoodie, but I think it will still sell even trash like this, even with all the, I don't know what that is. Gross. That just like smeared. Okay, well, this has like obviously paint and stuff on it. This one, I feel like the comps were like around $50 for a camo Carhartt hoodie, full zip. So that's, you know, not vintage at all. These are vintage. I'm pretty sure they are, but they have like no tag on the inside. So just the patch. But these are overalls, and I think that these were comping around $50 also. However, with no tag, I can't prove that they're vintage. I also don't have a size, which is a bummer. And these also have a significant amount of like staining and stuff on them. So we'll see. These are, I've had these before and they don't sell well. But these are like a dungaree fit Carhartt jeans. And this is the comp around $70. This is a blanket lined vintage Carhartt coat. Very cool. Very, very cool. But it also did not have any tags in it for some reason. So again, I can't prove that it's vintage, and I have no size, and it has significant wear. So I don't know. We'll see. This was good, and this does have tags. This is vintage Carhartt jean jacket. I think the comps are around $50. Very, very excited about that one. And then this is just a, like a, kind of a denim feel, like that duck canvas feel coat. But again, this one doesn't have tags. So I don't know what the deal is with all the tags and this Carhartt stuff, but I would imagine like $25 for this, since I don't have tags in it, but very, very cool. This was kind of in the wrong spot, but this is a Vera Bradley vintage purse. There was a ton of workwear. You saw all the Carhartt stuff, but then like this is Walls brand, and this is like insulated, so you know it would be warm. But these are a pair of overalls. Walls is, you know, a brand similar to Carhartt, but not quite as well known or popular, but still, I don't know. This is briar-proof, handcrafted by Dan's Hunting Gear, made in the USA. And these are pretty trashed. So I don't know if I'm actually going to try and sell them. They are very stained. But these are like hunting pants. But stains don't bother me so much, but like there's a rip out in the... I just don't want to deal with that so much. This is another one. It has just lots of like oil stains on it. Again, it's that Walls brand, but it is a pair of coveralls. Coveralls are expensive. So I think, you know, if someone's wearing coveralls, they're not caring too terribly much if they're covered in oil stains, you know? So this one is really cool. This is Big Man, and it's by Wrangler, I believe. Is that right? I could be wrong. Maybe not. It says JCPenney on here, and it is a vintage jacket, and I think this one was union made. Maybe I'm wrong. But it is a vintage jean jacket, and the comps were pretty good on that. So, vintage jean jackets. I've sold a decent amount of vintage jean jackets, so... These are, this one is Dickies, and it's a corduroy Sherpa lined jacket. Again, there's like a hole in the back, so I don't know what that's gonna do for me, but this is vintage leather, and unfortunately there's not a size in it, but it's like a leather bomber jacket, and it has kind of a texture to it. Like a design almost. Let's see if I can get you to see that. It's pretty cool. And I'm running out of steam. Can you tell? It's a lot of stuff. We're almost done now. This is the Vagabond Finest Outerwear. It's a size 44. It does not have a material tag in it, but I'm pretty sure that this is wool. How cool. I love that plaid, for one thing. And it's just a, you know, it's kind of Sherpa lined. It's vintage. It's very cool. This thing is amazing and has like no comps, none. So if you could help me with this, if you know anything about it, let me know. So this says Nasty Neighbors Campers, and has all these patches on it. It's just a like jacket. It does say Barb. So whoever Barb is. And then it has all these pins, and actually a couple of them I might take. Like this one says I'd rather be camping, which is kind of my life motto. And I just think it is absolutely incredible. Like someone has to love this. But this one, it does say Michigan over here. This patch says let's go camping. Another Michigan. This one says don't follow me, I'm lost too. There's a go motorhome, go first class. There's a flag. There's like Kings Island, Maid of the Mist, Niagara Falls. So it's like all the places they've been, right? SeaWorld, Walt Disney World. Just so cool. The French Quarter. There's just so many like really neat patches on there. So I mean, it's obviously vintage. There's not really branding in here. It's a polyester. I don't even know what to call this. I called it like a camping jacket. I was just trying to find something that was similar, and I found nothing that was similar, which could be good, but probably not. This is Field and Forest is this brand. But I mean, it looks just like a Carhartt jacket. Very workwear, vintage, pretty cool. This I'm super sad about. I think the comp was like $65. This is a Land's End. I'm pretty sure that's vintage. Yeah, it's made in the USA. Land's End, and it is a leather like bomber jacket. But it is very stained, lots of goop or something on it. And like I said, my mom and I are kind of searching for ways that I might be able to work on cleaning this, but I'm hoping I can get it cleaned because it's really cool. These are vintage Dickies overalls, like overalls. Again, pretty trashed, but I have sold stuff. Oops. I've sold stuff like that before, so I'm not super worried about it. These are, I think Dickies again. No, this is Burn camo overalls. Fair amount of camo. I'm also seeing I have another Carhartt jacket over there that's like green, that it needs washed. And then I also have like a pink 80s prom dress, but it needs soaked so bad. But the prom dress comps were really good. This is, oh, this one's the one that was by Wrangler. This is Big Ben by Wrangler. It is a vintage blanket lined barn jacket, barn coat. The comps on this was really good. And this is the brand, this is another Walls. It's a Zero Zone, so it's insulated coveralls for working outside in the cold. Somebody definitely needs that. This just reminds me so much of my stepdad. This is Field and Stream, and it is a vintage coat. Very warm, very cozy, very 90s, in my opinion. Oh my goodness, we made it to the end. You have been rewarded. You will be rewarded. This is my favorite thing that we found. This is brand new. It has tags on it. It is alpaca. It's that same brand as the scarves, and it is beautiful. There were really not any comps for a brand new alpaca cardigan like this. It's an open front and kind of has, I don't know, is that not really an Aztec print, but I might use Aztec print. I think I'm going to list it for $150 and see what happens. Maybe even higher. I'm really excited about this thing, but you won't believe. I do want to tell you before I show you this last thing, if you have stayed to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I do this because it's fun. I have also been doing this because I was hoping to make some money from it, and unfortunately that's just not working out very well for me. And over the past week, I decided to kind of change my strategy with YouTube. So I'm just doing it for fun. So I might not be quite as consistent as I was prior. And I hope that's okay for you. It's going to be okay for me. It's going to make it less stressful and just a fun hobby for me. Whereas, you know, eBay is actually making me money. And so I need to put my time and my effort into eBay. So again, if you have watched, this has got to be a long video. I've been videoing for like almost 2 hours. So yeah, just thank you. I appreciate you. And thanks for walking with me on this journey of eBay and YouTube. It's been so much fun, and I don't plan to stop anytime soon. I think I squealed when I saw this, and then when I figured out what it was, it got even better. So this is a shooting vest sweater, okay? This is wool, 100% wool. It has like a padding right here on the shoulder, and so people shoot. They put their gun up against their shoulder, and that helps pad it, because some guns have like kickback and it hurt. That's my understanding. So this is like a wax. My sister was like, this is crunchy. Like, is that okay? It's a wax coating that is on this. So, and then this sweater is 100% wool. It is made in the US. I don't know that means it's vintage, but I kind of think that this whole brand is vintage, but I might be completely wrong. But the brand is Filson, and I think I'm going to list this sweater for $250. I might be way off, but it is really cool, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited to get it listed. I think I'm going to take pictures of these 2 sweaters today, along with some other things, because it's a picture day for me, but I also have to get this garage cleaned up because my husband wants our garage back. I don't blame him. It's gonna get cold, and so we want to be able to pull our van in. So thanks again for hanging out. Leave me a comment, leave me a like. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. That helps my channel, and I appreciate it. You can also check out another video right here. So I will see you soon.